So this is just another deal on how the tree breaks down, just more documentation, okay? You see there, this is how you get all the pieces that are flat and the giant pieces. This could be as big as an apartment building, okay? You see how everything breaks down flat. You see in there.
Girls, come on.
This is just how the tree breaks down, and then it petrified, okay? This is what happens when it gets water and moisture. It just breaks down and splits. And then after the flood, everything petrified. And so much of it's buried. It has been dispersed across this earth, everywhere. Okay, I just wanted to show this. Remember, this could be as big as a washing machine, and then it could break again, and pieces just continually break down. And then when you look inside here, you could still see all the rings. Okay? All the rings in there. I don't know if you can see them on camera, but everything I've been showing you, these are everywhere from feet thick to several inches thick. Okay, so we're going to leave that at that. I wanted to show you this here again, like we were just at the monument. What you're looking at here is, so they decided to carve a president's face right here. Okay, all the faces. You have all the spires and stuff that have fallen away and rounded and eroded. And a lot of the rings and identifying characteristics have filled in. Okay? But that's what you're looking at. You're looking at a tree. The pieces and parts are everywhere. And then they decide to carve faces in one of the large uprights. Okay, that's all you're looking at. Okay, so we're going to leave it at that. Okay, I wanted to show you something here that's kind of important. We're going to go up to the monument. And if you look at these pieces here, okay, whether it's where a branch comes out and you have this swirl that goes around, okay, you have it everywhere. Okay, a lot of this is missing, but this would come around and go up. And I'm going to show you something. And you look at the way these radius pieces, okay, do this. You got to remember that. And then, Cedar has different characteristics. These are different rings. And you see the swirl, okay? And this nub right here. I'm going to show you something over here. Okay, it's the same characteristics. You look at the swirls, okay? And this can come out and go up and around. It's just, everyone's different. Remember this nub and this swirl, okay? So I'm going to show you over here. I told you that how the rings work. Okay, this here is like a knot or where a branch was. Okay, you see the way the swirls come up, and every one of these are just different rings. And you see here the radius and the quartz again in the knot or where the branch came out, a giant branch. You see the radius here. A lot of it is missing and a lot of it's buried. But this here was a giant knot or where a branch came out. Okay? I want you to look close at it. Okay, these are just rings, like I showed you on them pieces of wood over there. Okay, these are just rings of the tree that broke off. I showed you earlier last night before I came down off the mountain. You see this right here, okay? And there's always quartz in the knots and where the branches are, like sap, maple, something that was in the tree. And then it comes swirling back up. You're going to see this exact same thing up at the monument, okay? It's really important that you understand that. Remember, this is thousands of years old, and much of it has fallen away, eroded, rounded, smoothed. But you see this, okay? This is really important. This is a perfect example. This is not the sea floor. Okay, and this is all the different rings. Okay, and they've just broke off. And this here too is where your flagstone comes from. Okay, it's rings of trees. That's all it is. All this is down underneath the ground. Okay, take a close look at that, the radius. And then the way it swirls back up. Okay? And I'll show you. This is what it is, right here, but on a massive scale. Just the way the radiuses are, and then it comes back up, okay? And when we go to the monument, I will show you the exact same thing coming out of the monument, where a big branch came out. Where the faces are carved, it's just part of the giant trees. Okay? So I'm going to stop this here and we're going to head up to the monument. Alright, we're here at the monument and I want to show you a couple things, okay? Before we get up there. So, when I tell you that some things are recognizable and some are not, so this is all the petrified wood. You come over here and you can see these rings are recognizable. Okay, and then you get in here where they've been weathered. Hello, come here. Okay, and then a lot of this stuff like this, it's not recognizable, okay, because of the weathering and the erosion. Come here. You get over here and you can see the stuff that is recognizable, like this, okay. These are just parts of the tree, the rings. In good condition. And then you get over here and they've just been weathered and eroded and fused together with sediment and stuff. Okay, I want you to understand that. Okay, these ones are in pretty good condition. Okay, and the same thing up here. All this has become solidified and you don't see the rings in it. Okay, So we're going to go up to the monument and I'll show you the branch that comes out from the example I showed you earlier. So hold on. Show this real quick. I'm up on a 4-mile wide plateau. Some things are recognizable and some things are not. Okay? I just want to walk around this real quick. You see over there, part of the inside ridge of the tree. Okay? This stuff is so weathered and worn. You see over there, there's part of the mesa all along here. Okay, so let me go over here real quick and I'll show you. Yeah, up here, when you're on the top, some things are recognizable and some things are not, but there's no trees up here to protect it from any of the elements over the 4,000 years. And so much is eroded and weathered and rounded and smooth and had fallen away. Okay. Watch over here. Just bits and pieces, just remains of these giant trees. It's incredible. And this mesa, we're on the top of it. And it goes all the way over there, all the way around, comes back. Let me get up top here and try and get an overview. Yeah, when it rains, this fills up with water. It's full of bullfrogs. There's Denver, the city of Denver. Yeah, it's pretty incredible. But it's just all remains. Okay. Okay, I'm here at the monument, and I'm going to show you where a large branch came out of this part of this tree here, okay? So I'm just going to give you an overview here. Okay, I'm going to go up here and get some closer shots and show you. Okay, I'm going to show you where a large branch came out of here. Okay, you see this right here? That's just a band of the tree that was not shaved. Okay, all this here. Okay, I'll put a picture in here of what that is. And if you really look at the characteristics of the cedar tree, you'll see right here the swoop. I guess that's what you would call it, okay? I showed you this already. And there, when I pulled over on the side of the road, you see here, this is the center part of where a branch came out. And if you look at all the radius, all around it, Let me back out a little bit. Okay. You go in. See all the radius that goes around it. Okay, this is all part of the cedar tree. It's just the characteristics of it. Okay, right there is where a branch came out. See them little... Right there is where a branch came out. Okay, and then it swoops up right there, and then it swoops down right here. Okay, and the whole thing sweeps up. And remember, there's been thousands of years of weather and erosion. These are all just rings, radius rings around that knot or branch. Right there. You see here, these are just rings, like I showed you around that knot of that branch. See that? And here, this is all just part of the tree that hasn't been shaved. It's like they're mocking you. Remember, all this stuff has been smoothed and rounded. This is just part, like a spire of the tree. It's been all smooth and rounded. But you can see here on the left, this is all petrified wood. I'm going to come right over here and show you some. Okay, it's everywhere. Okay, you see the rings in the tree here. It's just pieces and parts everywhere. It's like another quartz, like another knot. I'm telling you, it comes from the tree. These are just pieces and parts from thousands of years of weather and erosion after the flood. Okay? Just pieces and parts. Okay? It's just like I showed you when we first came in. Some of it's recognizable and some of it's not. Okay? Like that's recognizable. That is solidified and all the rings are filled in. And it looks like one big stone, but it's not. It's just like that. But it has been filled in with sediment, all the rings. And eventually this piece here, all these rings will also fill in. And this will appear to be just one giant stone. Like this. Okay? But it's not. It's just what happens. It's what the weather does. Okay? Alright, we're going to leave it at that. So I want to show you this too. All this stone comes from the tree. Okay? You see the granite and quartz in it. Okay? It all comes from the tree. See the quartz here? All in there. These come from veins, large veins in these giant trees, okay? Just all pieces and parts. Okay, I'm going to show you a couple things. Hold on. Okay, we're going to walk right up in here and I'm going to show you a few things. Okay, so this is all petrified wood. And when I tell you how things break off flat, see, there's more of the quartz. Okay, see, it's flat. You see all the rings. Okay, all this is petrified wood. Okay, and you see here, this was one. This is that piece we were looking at from above. It's pretty cool. You see all the quartz within the tree, like sap or maple, something like that. Okay, this was some kind of knot at one time. But you see here. Okay, let me move this out of the way. Okay, you see how this breaks off flat. Okay, it's just one piece of wood. You see the quartz. Okay, a lot of this stuff is not recognizable to most people. A lot of it is. But I just wanted to show you that here, but I want you to look at this here. Oh, you sucker. Okay, how everything breaks off flat. You'll understand that if you don't already. But you got to remember the quartz. I'm going to go down here in the front and show you that really quick. Okay, so hold on. Okay, so we're back here behind the hotel. I just wanted to show you a few things really quick. You see the veins, this is what they look for. These are gold veins, quartz veins. And you see up over here, I'll show you really quick. That was all one giant knot at one time. All this, okay? See the knot on the quartz? You come right over here and you see the large vein, okay? Yeah, it's all quartz. Just like this. Okay, I'm going to pause this here and show you something out front. Okay, this is like, I have another part like this in this video, but this is just going to be quick. Just want to show you. Here's the vein, okay? This is exactly what you're looking at. Quartz, feldspar, gold, silver, mica. It's in the tree, okay? It comes from the tree. This is petrified wood, okay? This here, this lighter stuff. You see the tree attached to it, okay? It's all petrified wood, all this, okay? All this comes from the tree. It's right there, okay? All this is petrified wood. You see the rings. That piece comes from a tree, okay? You see the rings in it, okay? Right here, 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 here. Okay, it's no different. I'm gonna go back over here and show you this really quick. This is, this is not what people have been brainwashed and indoctrinated into thinking what petrified wood looks like. It was a different world back then with carbon-based, silicon-based trees. Hey! Get over here! Right now! But you see, okay, your eyes don't deceive you. Okay? Alright, we're going to leave it at that. I just wanted to show you this here. You've already seen it once. Okay? This whole, you can go all the way over there to that small mountain. That over there I don't care where you're at. This over here is no different. All them hills back there, it's all the same. It's just remains of a giant tree. Okay? All of it. Alright, we're going to leave it at that. Different veins and knots. Okay? I showed you this earlier. So you see things when it gets, so it turns from stone, like this is turning into sandstone because it's weathered. It used to be solid stone like that, but it just gets so weathered, and everything returns back to the earth. Okay, you can go grab that, and it would crumble in your hands like sand. Okay, just like this, that would crumble in your hands like sand because it's just been weathered and eroded. And it used to be solid stone, petrified wood. This here, it's starting to solidify together. But as you go around this side, you see here, that would just crumble in your hand like sand because it's so weathered. Okay? But you get over here, and these rings are in better shape. Okay? They haven't been weathered as much. Okay, I want you to understand that. And then this happens, and it appears there's a whole bunch of rings, but if you really look at it, you'll see there's only a few there. But it's just what happens. I've looked at enough of this over the last couple years of trying to document everything. I understand it all. I'm just trying to show you everything. You know, how things break down. Okay? And you see here, you see the rings here. Okay, that is filled in and solidified. You see the quartz. All this is part of the tree. Watch out, okay? If you look close here, okay, you see the radius rings in this that have filled in. It's just barely recognizable, but you could still see the outline of them. That used to be just like that, but it is filled in over the years. You could still see some of it in there, but they've just filled in, and it appears to be one solid stone, but it's not. Eventually, all this will turn the same way. It'll fill in, and it'll look like one solid stone, like this. Okay? It's important you understand that. Okay? And everything returns back to the earth. Eventually. All the quartz, everything, it comes from the tree, okay? Okay, I hope you understand this. I can't be any more clear. Okay? Alright, we're going to leave this at that right now. Yeah, I made it up to this area here. I'll probably find a better vantage point, but I just want to show you some of the still standing upright rings, okay? First I want to show you a couple things here. See all the quartz here, okay? It all comes from the tree. Okay, I know I keep saying that. This is pretty incredible stuff. Okay? Goes on and on and on all the way down. Take a good look at this. Okay, you see it breaks off the same as the tree. It splits apart the same. It runs the same way. Okay, but I'm going to show you some of the upright rings in these massive giant trees. You got to remember, thousands of years since the destruction of them. And smoothed and eroded over time. These are just rings. There's two of them right there, side by side. The several in between have since been gone. Okay? All these pieces down here are just little shards still remaining, like a broken off stump. Okay? That's all they are. The weather here has made them not look like trees. But I did get a drone. I'm going to attempt that. We'll see how that goes. But you see the quartz. And this here, I think it's granite. I'm not sure what it is. But it's everywhere. Okay. You see this piece here broke off flat, but it's not recognizable like all the other ones I've been showing you. Okay? Because everything is filled in. But you see, these are just rings that are remaining. And you can go all the way down. This tree's kind of in my way. But you see down in there, they're just all still standing. They've rounded and smoothed. Okay? All this in here. You go way back up in here. It's just like a big broken off stump. Okay? So we're going to move on from here and find some other spots. So I just wanted to show this tunnel through the tree. You know, and you get up there and you see it's the same thing. Okay? It's all wood. And there's your veins. Come over here, and you can just see all part of the rings that are still standing. Spires, whatever you want to call them. Okay. They're just so eroded and weathered. And you see up here, it's all just part of the tree. Okay. Oh, I got a car coming, hold on. Alright, yeah, this is pretty narrow. See all the veins. All the quartz comes from the tree. Okay? Got another car coming. Okay, I just wanted to show you guys this. All the quartz veins. It comes from the tree. Hold on, I'm going to wipe my lens. Okay. So you see, it's all come down here. You just see part of the ring still standing up. They're worn and weathered. If I was to my right more, you'd see this single file. I got a car coming, so I'm going to move on. So it's a little bit windy here, and I'm going to a completely different area. This is kind of the wetlands here. But I want to show you when I tell you that underneath all this grass is all the same thing. Okay? You got all these pieces of the tree just laying on top. Okay? They're protruding out of the ground everywhere. Okay, you come out here. They're everywhere. Just pieces and parts laying around. Come over here. See, they're just sticking in the ground, protruding out. All this grassland, all of this underneath it is the same kind of thing. Okay? All of it. It's just pieces and parts still laying on top of the ground. But all these hills and mountains over there are all the same thing. We're going to go back up into there, all the way back there for miles. We're going to hit all this area back in here. I just wanted to show you this stuff here. Let me zoom in on these again. Okay. These are just small, tiny pieces. Remnants. Alright, I'm going to stop it here and head on up to this other area. So I came a little bit farther down the road, and before I go in there, I just want to show you this. You see all these hills and farm-looking country pastures. I'm going to show you what's in and under all this, okay? It's just covered with a thin layer of vegetation. All of this, all the way back up in there. You can go right over here and just see tiny remnants. Okay? Tiny remnants here and there protruding out all through here. All the way back in there. Okay, all the little pieces still laying around. But underneath all of this grassland, farmland, underneath this road, all of this, them small rolling hills, I'm going to show you what's underneath it all. It's just a thin layer of vegetation, and underneath is the same exact stuff I've been showing you. Okay, we just need to go a little further. But you just see remnants of it all still sticking out everywhere. Alright? So I'm going to continue on down and show you that don't let any of this here deceive you. Because most of the rolling hills underneath the grassland and the trees, the new forest, is nothing but remains of giant trees. Okay, so I'm going to leave it at that, and I'm going to move on. Okay, I'm going to show you. I'm still in the same pasture. There's that red barn. Okay, but I'm just down a little bit further. So you see what's over there, okay? A lot of this stuff has been buried and distributed after the flood. And all these hills are just covering all the giant trees. You come over here, okay? You see there's just pieces protruding out, okay? All that up there. You come down here. All these little pieces you see laying around here, okay? All these little pieces. and then it gets up into there. Okay? And all this grassland is full of the same thing underneath this road. Okay? So we're going to go further back on in there, and I'll show you more. Okay? But don't let all this grassland fool you, because this is just small areas. God, can you believe it's snowing? Look at the top of my truck. Little white balls. It's snowing out. That's crazy. But it only lasts for a few minutes. You see up there. And it's crazy because we got a blue sky. You get all these little tiny storms that pass. They come and go pretty quick. You see out there in the field, okay? That's just what you can see. But you look up on top of that, you see the grassland. Same thing is under there. Alright? These trees were giant, just like the Bible says, okay? But they're going to tell you all these mountains are the tectonic plates. Billions of years ago pushed up. It's a lie. Okay, so we're going to move on. So I've only come about 1/8 of a mile down the road. Okay? And you can see here, okay, I'm just trying to show you the truth and what I see, okay? All that hillside and mountainside, it's the same in all the mountains in the world, okay? They're all the remains of giant trees. Okay, you get down underneath and you see what's just remnants of it. But you go down there and you see what's really underneath. The grassland, okay? All of it. These are just branches and twigs. Okay, you go all the way up in there. And then the rest is buried. Don't matter where you are in the world, alright? Alright, we're going to move on. So I've come about another 1/8 of a mile down the road. I want to show you this. And you see up here the grassland and stuff. You come down here, this is what's underneath it, all of it, okay? This just happens to be protruding out. But underneath all that grassland I just showed you, all this is what it is. It's just buried with a thin layer of vegetation. Okay? It's important to understand that. Okay, you wouldn't think that up here, all this, the thin layer of vegetation is just hiding it. Okay? Underneath that barn. Everywhere. You go up on the hill over here. They're everywhere. They were so massive. You know, and when you look at how big the lie is and all the other implications behind it, okay? You go down there. Understand how the rings work, okay? See that? That's pretty incredible. So like that stuff I showed you earlier, could you imagine if this was much bigger, how this breaks off here? Okay, this piece right here could be 30 feet across. This is just a smaller piece. Okay? All of that beautiful country mountain grassland. Underneath it is all that. Okay? All that is hiding what's really underneath the ground. We're going to look at this one more time. Okay? And this goes down for miles and miles. It's just a buildup of these giant trees. You really got to think about the implications, the lies in from NASA and science and the history books and the whole education system. You got to understand what kind of world we live in. It's all a deception. I'm telling you, they hide God in creation for a reason. They don't want people knowing the truth. So anyway, we're going to move on. Okay, I wanted to give you one more example before we move on. See all this grassland, okay? The road. But you go over there, okay? You see the grassland up there, and then you see what's underneath it, okay? All that protrudes underneath the ground. It's underneath here. It's everywhere, okay? This all looks like it's just would be dirt under it. All of this, everything under the road, okay? All of this, all of these hills, all going up in there. Okay, we're going to change gears a little bit here. I'm just now leaving the lake, but I want to show you something, okay? So you look across over there, that looks just like a big cluster of rock, okay? But I'm going to drive over there and I'm going to show you something a little bit different, see? So hold on a moment. Okay, you come over here, this is just like one big knot, okay? You come over here, and you see, it's just all part of the tree, okay? I want to show you this. Okay, these are all just part of the tree, part of the rings. Okay, that's all petrified wood. Okay, and we're going to go around over here and I'll show you. Come down here. Okay, it's just all part of the tree. Okay? So let me go up over here a minute. Hold on. Well, I'll just keep you walking with me here, okay? And I'll show you. Okay? You see what's underneath the grass up there, okay? It's just buried by a thin layer of vegetation. Okay? Remember, some of it's recognizable and some of it's not. Okay? You see, these rings are wet. Okay, but it's part of the radius. Okay? You come over here. It's just like I showed you how the branch, the log, the tree breaks up. Okay? So I'm going to go down the street here and show you some other things before I call it a night. Remember how the tree breaks up, okay? And there's knots and veins. All right, so hold on a moment. Bye.